Hello, Cyclone fanatics. October 15th is the big day where the Cyclones will travel to Missouri to take on the Tigers in Columbia. Tim Sitzmann joins me, Mr. B.
Nice to be here, Chris.
1995 Northwest 86th Street in Clive. It's all redone outside, so when you drive by it, I mean, it looks sleek out here at Mr. B. And Tim's been rolling through the Iowa State football schedule here. Tim, you got the Cyclones starting off at 3-2 this year.
I think we're going to start out real good. I mean, we got some games set up as we've talked about it in previous shows, and this last game we picked a real close one. I picked Baylor to get Iowa State on the road. Now we're going into a very tough place to play with, I think, one of the finest teams maybe in the Big 12 this season. Outside of Oklahoma, they could probably have an opportunity to win that Big 12.
I see. I'm with you on Missouri. I think that James Franklin, in the past, like at Texas Tech, where they just have like a quarterback, and then I graduate, and then they just plug another one in, and he'd be awesome. I think that's what Missouri's got going on with Gary Pinkel. I really do, and I think James Franklin steps up. Next, Brad Smith, maybe. I think he's that good. You know what makes it easy for a quarterback like James Franklin?
He's got everybody around.
Got everybody around him.
He can look bad and still look good.
A few quick notes. Missouri has had some injury issues through camp. They lost a couple offensive linemen, so they're kind of playing musical chairs on their offensive line, but still, it's a deep football program. I think Missouri, you look at the start of their schedule, Tim, they got a tough road trip. I believe it's at Arizona State in week 2. They have Oklahoma. They go to Kansas State. They have a really tough first 5 games of their schedule, and then they come to this Iowa State game. So this could be a battered Missouri team based off of that schedule, and that could be an opportunity for Iowa State if the injuries keep going for Missouri. This could be one of those opportunities where we keep looking for that road game. We keep looking for that game where Iowa State can jump in there and maybe beat somebody they're not supposed to. That's the one reason that makes me think that this could be the game for Iowa State, but I think if you match up position by position, this is the best team Gary Pinkel's had at Missouri. I really believe that. I think this is a strong football team.
And I think we got to slow down. I agree with you, but I'm not that enamored about this being our upset.
No, you don't think so? No chance.
No chance.
Okay.
I really think we have an upset in the making. We picked Texas as an upset. We have to have a couple upsets because I think what you're going to see in my outcome of what the season's going to lay out. But I think the Missouri team's for real. I think he's built a heck of a program. When you get a program going, it's not unlike Texas or Oklahoma. It's not a question if they're going to win and be in a bowl game. It's just how good they're going to be. And I think he's developed that kind of team. He's going to win. He's going to win. He's going to have more wins than losses. And they've got a tough start, as you pointed out. But I think this is one of those games you can overlook. I think they're going to be a position in the season they can't overlook this game. Yeah, they got to have this game at home.
They could have 3 losses.
They could definitely be 2 to 3 losses. This is a must as they go through the. Then the rest of the season can almost be win out and then compete for that title. So I think he's loaded. I think they're going to be rated nationally up there, and I think that this is a. I hate to say it, but I've got us down at 3-3.
Okay.
And I don't like it, but
You know what, Tim? That's not a horrible start to the season, though. When you look at who you're playing.
Not who you're playing, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think it's a 14-point game. I don't think we can stop them, and I think they can stop us.
That's probably maybe the best defensive line in the Big 12.
They're all back, and they're tough.
Yeah, they're a real good team. I can't argue with that.
Now, injuries both ways. We're predicting out in the future.
We're sitting here middle August.
Yeah,
okay?
And if it was next week, maybe we have a different insight. But we're middle August trying to give you an outlook of the season. I think this is a very fine football team. May even be competing right there with Oklahoma for that title. Well,
again, my thoughts on James Franklin. I think he's legit. The concerns on the offensive line for Missouri, and as you've seen with Iowa last year, with Nebraska. Remember Nebraska, I believe, was the #1 team in the country somewhere near a decade ago. You go out to Arizona State, those night games.
They're hard.
You're walking to a hornet's nest. You really are.
I'm not sure they can win there.
That's a good team.
If I was going to pick that game, I'd pick Arizona State. It's a tough road game. Very tough. Iowa, you got to.
Well, I believe Iowa lost to Arizona last year, now that I think about it.
But they've lost to Arizona State a couple of years ago.
Correct.
Got annihilated and had a good year.
When you go out to the desert in the night game, bad things happen for these Midwestern teams.
Last year it was Arizona, and we looked horrible.
Yeah, it's like I say, Missouri.
Or they looked horrible, and it's.
Yeah.
Missouri's not going to win that game probably if I was picking that, but when it comes down to this game, they're in Game 6. They got to win.
Yeah, I agree. So again, not my official pick, of course, but
but it's nice to have him agree with me once in a while. And we're 3-3, and I got to get that 6th and 7th win as we go forward, and we'll find a way to get it in there. I think we can do it.
There's winnable games coming up here.
Absolutely.
Texas A&M at home. You got to go to Texas Tech, Kansas at home, at Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, and then at Kansas State. So is Tim going to pick them in a bowl game? We're going to see. We're going to see where those other 3 wins are going to come from.
Well, hang in there. You got to come back and see us because I've got some surprises coming down the road.
Okay, well, there you go. More of the reason to watch Sitzmann's picks here coming up is we're going to do this all the way up through the season starts. On September 3rd, the Northern Iowa Panthers visit Jack Trice Stadium. Come on in and visit Mr. B Clothing.
Invite them in. We're full of fall goods. You're going to need some sweatshirts and some coats and things like that as we get into the football season. By now we're at week 6. It's starting to get a little chilly out there in late October, so come in and see us. Our store's full of things in August for you to look at.
Yep.
At Mr. B's in 1995 Northwest 86th in beautiful Clive, Iowa.
He's Tim Sitzmann. I'm Chris Williams. We'll be back, breaking down some more Iowa State football here in the coming weeks at CycloneFanatic.com.